Boy, I sure do love playing Castlevania games. It's really great that Toad's not here to fuck it up for me. Yeah. Oh, fuck you, Medusa head. Yeah.
Hey guys!
What?
Guys, shouldn't we be doing this fucking Castlevania Symphony of the Night review?
Okay, let's do it! Yeah!
Yeah.
Wait. Is that a fucking sword?
Castlevania Symphony of the Night is a 2D side-scrolling RPG made by Konami in 1997. It was originally made for the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn, and eventually made its jump to the PlayStation Network and the Xbox Live Arcade.
Alright, Symphony of the Night is the 15th installment in the Castlevania series. It is also the only game that was even ported to the Sega Saturn, and only in Japan. The performance of this port was not received well because it sucked ass in comparison to the PlayStation version. Know what I'm saying?
Symphony of the Night being released in 1997 is important because of how incredible of a year for gaming it was. The game had to stand up to the likes of games like Star Fox 64, 007 GoldenEye, Final Fantasy VII and Tactics, Mario Kart 64, X-Wing vs. TIE Fighter, Fallout, Grand Theft Auto, Gran Turismo, and more, and it did. It held its own and sold very well to great critical acclaim. Alright folks, so now that we've covered the overview of the game, let's get into the actual review.
Yeah! Alright, so I'm going to be talking to you about the introduction, story, and gameplay of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. When you first open up the game, you're taken to a file select, name change, file copy, and file delete page. If you go to file select, you can type in whatever names you want. Now, if you type in secret code names, you're able to start the game off with different abilities and or a different character. Like, for instance, if you type in the name Richter, you get to play the entire game as Richter Belmont. So after you've inputted your name, you are thrown into the world of 1792 Romania. So you find yourself plopped down right at the top of Dracula's keep. And who are you, you ask? You are Richter Belmont at the end of Bloodlines. What? He wasn't on the cover of the box. What? You just expect me to climb up some stairs without knowing what I'm supposed to do? Just give me a whip? Alright, well, I'll pick this cross up, hit a button, there's some stairs. Come to Stairmaster Belmont. So once you've explored the top of the castle, you talk to the dickbag himself, sitting there with his wine. And then this is all the dialogue. Check this out. Duh, Miles, you don't belong in this world. Yeah, well, now by my hand, yeah, I would want to I would call you by humans who would pay me tribute. Then he goes on talking, he throws his wine and makes a mess of things. You don't know why, but you just start fighting them. So if you find yourself picking up the magical eyedroppers of Romania, you can just make it rain on Dracula, and then he's dead. Or is he? Nope. Remember, this is Castlevania, so he's got to turn into some demon goat beast, start shooting fireballs at you, and you haven't been given a move list or anything, so you're just whipping him because you don't know what else to do. But wait, he's got fireballs. But never fear, Raindrops is here. Once you've defeated Dracula, it gives you a further plot advancement. It tells you all about Richter Belmont being a legendary vampire hunter who succeeded in finally ending the menace of Count Dracula, because you just did it. and then it moves you forward into the game. So basically what happened is Dracula's castle appears once every century, but not this time, it just randomly appears. And you, the son of Dracula, Alucard, Dracula spelled backwards, need to find out just what in the hell is going on. So at this point in the game, you're pretty much very much similar to Richter Belmont in the fact that you have no idea what the hell you're supposed to be doing, how you do it, and it turns out that if you randomly mash buttons on your controller, Alucard, the son of Dracula, has magical powers based off of your mana supply. But you have no idea what the spells are, you just have to press some buttons and hope it works. I saw Dracula have fireballs. I'm the son of Dracula, I should have fucking fireballs! Turns out you do. You do get fireballs. Little ones, big ones, you get fireballs. Along with other spells like Dark Metamorphosis, where blood-spilling enemies give you health, because you're a vampire. You also get spells like Soul Steal, where you turn any hittable object around you into health for you, which becomes one of the greatest spells in the entire game. Other spells include Batwing, Bat Smash, Wolf Charge, and all the other animals and shit that you can turn into. It's pretty fucking cool. So this game is very similar to other Castlevania titles in the fact that you gotta backtrack every 10 minutes. Oh, can't get in the blue door, gotta get a blue key, got a blue key, gotta go back to the blue door, it's fucking maddening. But you get a better understanding of the castle and the game around you. So, I mean, I guess it all works out in the end. Between the Castlevania series and the Metroid series, this whole backtracking thing that started is now known as Metroidvania. It's the idea that you have to backtrack again and again and again in order to go forward. Similar to all the other Castlevania games in the series, enemies have a random drop rate, but in this game, the items are fucking awesome. Some of the times. Because you'll have a floating head that drops like a shirt. The fuck does a floating head need a shirt for? Fucking shirts? You don't even have bodies. But, toward the end of the game, spoiler alert, there's a floating head in the upside down library that if you kill it like 2,000 times, you get a sword that slices like 1,000 fucking times and it makes the game ridiculously easy. So the items that some of the later enemies drop makes the game incredibly fun to play. But this constant moving forward to move backwards to move forward again, you know, it kind of works out in your favor because all the bosses that are just behind the door that you couldn't get to before, they're now perfectly suited to fit your playing abilities at this point in time. So the enemies that you run into are a giant floating brain that spills out bodies all over the place, or Death, or Cerberus. And you never find yourself backed up against a wall because you're always ready to go because of what the game has led you to this point. After you've been mucking around in the castle for like 2 hours with Alucard, you finally come to realize that the new master of the castle is in fact Richter Belmont. And now you're like, well, what the fuck, man? You was like fighting my dad and now you buddies? What? Well, come to find out if you gather all the items in the original castle, a dark priest named Shaft has possessed Richter to make him the lord of the castle. Now, you fight Richter, but if you see through all the evil spells, there is a reverse castle. It's all the same rooms from the regular castle, just fucking upside down. So now that you've mucked around the upside down castle, which is the exact same rooms, you're just gathering different items, you finally fight Shaft. And after you beat Shaft's ass, then, and only then, do you fight Dracula. Now, he's some giant demon-clawed, multi-head thing. He's a pain in the ass. But, like I said earlier, you're gonna be ready for this fight. Or at least you hope! Now, this game has one really, really cool element, I thought. If you don't get all the items in the regular castle and you do defeat Richter, you get a different ending. But, the more castle coverage that you have at the end, there are 6 different endings based off of percentages. So, you didn't get something, you still can end the game. It just won't be as cool as if, you know, you did everything.
Alright, Cubs, so we got the best part of the game here for you. The characters. I'm going to run through and tell you about each one, how they contribute to the game. Tell you a little bit about them, the strengths, weaknesses, why they're cool. I would tell you why they're not, but they're all fucking cool, so here we go. So you got Richter Belmont, right? You start off the game as him. He is notable in the Belmont line as being the strongest Belmont. This is actually something that is stated by Alucard in the game. People may say, oh, you got Simon Belmont, you know, he's strong and everything, he's crazy strong and everything, so many games, kills Dracula all the time, but you know what? Alucard says it, so it's gotta be true. Richter Belmont's strongest. In the game, it states he's last seen in the castle looking for Dracula, but you know what? If you play the game, you know that's not true. So, play the game, you'll learn more about Richter Belmont. I mean, come on, look at those moves. How can anyone say that he's not the strongest? Look at him jumping around. Look at him doing those moves. Look at him fighting Dracula. Look at him taking his ass. Ain't no punk-ass king of the fucking vampires gonna be taking him down today. Not the strongest Belmont, no sir. Not happening. Not to Richter. Alright, so then you got Maria. She's kind of like Richter's friend, Richter's best friend, who knows, Richter's girlfriend. Alucard runs into her throughout the game. She's looking for Richter, and she helps you out throughout the game. Gives you items here, hints there. You know, depending on how much of the castle you look through, she actually is very integral to helping you get the good ending in the game. The only ending, you know, depending on how much of a completionist you are. And she's really integral to the game, actually, if you ask me. And depending on which port of the game you're playing, she's actually a playable character. So that's pretty cool. It's pretty neat. And then you have Dracula, the big baddie daddy of the vampires, the immortal lord, and also father of Alucard, who is the protagonist of our story. Dracula is the antagonist in Symphony of the Night, and in pretty much every other Castlevania game that's ever existed. He's been destroyed a lot of times by the Belmont clan, and others, but he always seems to make his way back to the land of the living, so I guess it was necessary. In Symphony of the Night, you get to fight Dracula not once, but twice. Once as Richter, and once as Alucard if you get the correct ending of the game. It's pretty neat, actually. Look at Dracula thinking he's such a bad bitch, thinking he can take on two main characters. Ooh, look, he's so bad. You gonna get punked, what you gonna get, bitch? No, but for real, Dracula's pretty fucking cool. Now, speaking of vampires, we have Alucard, the half-vampire son of Dracula and the protagonist of Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This guy's tale is about as tragic as it comes. His mother was burned to death by humans, but did Alucard hold it against him? Abso-fucking-lutely not. Our man Alucard actually fights against his father and the forces of darkness on the side of humans to help protect them. Talk about a real champ right there. That's our boy. Alucard is also incredibly strong in the forces of magic, as well as sword fighting and other forms of martial combat. To sum it up, Alucard is a fucking badass. I mean, come on, the dude can transform into a fucking wolf, a bat, can transform into fucking mist. Come on, dude, that shit is crazy. And then you got the Librarian. Now this guy is cool as shit. Basically, he works for Dracula, but he's gonna betray the shit out of him in exchange for your money. He'll let you buy items, and he'll also let you get tips and tricks on fighting bosses in exchange for a pretty hefty sum of money, but it's actually really worth it. It's a pretty cool exchange if you ask me. Librarian is a fucking bro, no doubt. And then you got Shaft. This dirty, two-faced son of a bitch was actually controlling Richter and making him think he was evil and lord of the castle and shit. After you break the spell on Richter, you actually beat the shit out of his punk ass, and then you end up fighting Dracula, and you know, you beat the game, and it's all whoopee, yay, this is great. Shaft is a bitch. And then you got the Boatman. He's cool. Yeah.
Hey, Toe! Got anything to add about the graphics and visuals, or like level design, or anything like that?
Alrighty, we have Castlevania Symphony of the Nights. This game had good graphics for its time, and I can appreciate it from when the time it was made. Look at all that fucking gloomy, fucking saddening, depressing, go home, such fucking rich shit. Look at it. Just look at it. Just let it seep in for a little bit. Just look at it. This game didn't lag at all, unlike other games on the PlayStation, because they didn't fill the whole entire disc full of stuff. It would just bunch up a bunch of shit. You know who you are, fucking laggy PlayStation games. Fuck. The level design of this game was very good, because it actually made you work for something instead of fucking handing you out fucking hand-me-outs all the time, fucking making it easy as shit. Castlevania doesn't bore you to death with just a bunch of hack and slash, so it makes you actually use your intelligence to beat the game, which makes it one of the top tier games. Top tier. MLG Pro. backtracking. Although tedious, is necessary for completion of the game. Yeah, one of the more negative parts of the game is that it's easy to get lost. Not necessarily a bad thing, kind of makes the game a little bit longer and people want gameplay, so I guess it turns around and it can be a good thing. Play the game.
Okay, so the music for the Castlevania series is amazing in its entirety, and Symphony of the Night definitely does not let down. It is composed by Michiru Yamane, and it is just so good. Another really cool feature about the music for Castlevania is that it changes tracks for different areas of the castle, boss fights, and it has its own tracks for cutscenes as well. All of them are really interesting, and they really set the mood for the different parts of the castle or the different fights that you're in. It's really just perfect. They couldn't have orchestrated it any better. Okay guys, so I've got what is probably the coolest feature of the game here. So if you take the game disc and you put it inside of a CD player, you are greeted by the voice of Alucard, who gives you a short message, and then they play you a bonus track. Okay, from a game that already has amazing music, to get a special feature like that, to where you get an extra song, and you greet a special message from the main character of the game, from a time period in 1997 where the coolest little bit of bonus content you can expect to get is like a secret character or extra level, or oh my god, I get a special skin for my character, you get a fight, an extra fight, oh my god, where bonus content wasn't really that crazy at the time. That is so cool. That is, if you don't think that's dope, stop watching. That's just so cool. It's, oh my god, it's so cool! The soundtrack for Symphony of the Night is an excellent selection of tracks that complement the dark, brooding, desperate feel of the game. It'll leave your heart pounding, your palms sweating, making you wonder just what the hell is waiting for you around the next corner. Alright guys, this part is really cool. Check this fucking shit out! So there's this guy in the game called the Librarian, and he is kind of the go-to item master in the game, but a really cool feature about him is that he has a complete track list of all of the different songs in the game. And you can go to him, select any one of them, and listen to a full version of every single song in the game. You can just go to this guy and just jam the hell out. Seriously, I would just go to him and just play out, just listen to music. Just chill and listen to music. Fuck the game, just listen to music. It's a great time. Just listen to music. Librarian, just chill and listen to music. Now, as we talked about before in this review, this game had a Sega Saturn port, and it had a couple changes to the track list, including Vampire Killer and Bloody Tears, which are two really popular tracks in the Castlevania musical lineup. Seriously, listen to this. It's so good. Bloody Tears for this is so good. Listen to it. Guys, seriously, the music for this game is so fucking good. It's so good. If I were to even pretend to have one single complaint about the music for this game, it would be that it doesn't have Simon Belmont's theme in the game. And you know what? I can't even complain about that, because it wouldn't make any fucking sense for that theme to even be in this game. Simon Belmont's not in the game. Nowhere. Nowhere at all. It's a cool theme. I love the theme. It's great. But it wouldn't make sense. So, no complaints at all. The music for this game, 10-10. 100%. You love it. Get the soundtrack. Listen to it. Listen to it while you're playing a game. Listen to it while I'm playing this game. Listen to it while you're playing this game. While you're listening to the music from this game. Listen to it at both times while you're playing the game. And then get somebody else to play the game while you're playing the game. Do it.
Alright guys, so Castlevania Symphony of the Night is one of my personal favorite games, and now that we're getting to the time of rating, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 pandas. Because I want to.
Hey guys, it's Toe from Panda Bear Gamers. The review on Castlevania Symphony of the Night. All in all, it was a good game, well-rounded. Not my type of game, like I said before, but still a good game.
Panda, panda, panda.
3 out of 5 pandas.
Alright folks, so my personal review of Castlevania Symphony of the Night is that it was a really great game, and I didn't really have the personal experience that Becker had with it, but I thought that for a side-scrolling game that it was really well done. So I gotta give it, personally, 4.5 pandas out of 5. Alright guys, so with everything you've seen in this review, the Panda Bear Gamers have decided to score Castlevania Symphony of the Night 4.5 pandas out of 5.
Yeah.
Hey guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. We worked super hard on it, and if you liked it, please leave a like, a comment, and if you really liked it, please consider subscribing to the channel. You know, we're going to try and get out videos like this as often as we can, so stay subscribed so that you can see them when they drop. Please consider checking out our other videos. We've got a lot of Let's Plays going, and we're going to continue to try and drop as many as we can, so that you can check those out too. Nothing, guys? Okay, so we'll see you next time. Bye, guys!